Hi, I'm David Johnson, and this is Verse by Verse. No matter what kind of hopes and dreams we may have at various points in our life, we quickly learn that success requires more than hoping and dreaming. We learn early on that achieving those hopes and dreams will require both knowledge and hard work. If we want to be successful, we must develop the character to keep working diligently even when the task before us seems daunting. But we've also learned that it's possible to work diligently and end up wasting much of our efforts. You've probably heard the admonition that says, don't just work harder, work smarter. I remember times when I was growing up that my father would thump me on the head and say, son, use that thing for more than a hat rack. Once he had my attention, he would often show me how to accomplish what I was trying to do in an easier and more effective way. Having a mentor who can show us the way can make a big difference in enabling us to be successful in whatever endeavor we may be undertaking. So where do you turn when you're looking for someone to help you figure out what steps you need to take? We have many options available to us. We have books and magazines. We have all those helpful YouTube videos. We have self-appointed gurus who make their living by offering to teach others how to reach their goals. All of those can be helpful at times, but how about something that's simple, free of charge, and readily available to anyone? How about learning one of the most important rules for success from a dumb animal? Not just any animal, but one with a brain that's about 1/10 of a cubic millimeter in size, specifically a common ant. Now, wait a minute. Am I actually saying that humans with their amazing ability to think, reason, create, and all those other uniquely human thought processes, humans with 86 billion nerve cells packed into their physical brain, should learn something about success in life from some miniature six-legged critter that makes its home in the dirt? Exactly. Now, before you decide that what I'm suggesting is a waste of your time, let me confess that this idea didn't originate with me. It actually comes from a man who may well have been the wisest man to ever live, King Solomon. Here's what he said. Proverbs 6, verses 6 through 8. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. You've probably heard this proverb before. About 4 centuries after Solomon, the famous Greek slave Aesop used a similar principle in his famous fable about the ant and the grasshopper. Like Aesop, those who examine the proverb usually come up with the point that the ant is diligent about gathering the food needed for survival during the times when food is plentiful, and then has enough to make it through the times when food is scarce. That's a perfectly legitimate lesson to draw. But could we be overlooking another lesson contained in this verse? Let's read it again. Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. Did you notice that phrase right in the middle? Solomon pointed out that the ant works diligently without having anyone to act as an overseer, making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. Have you ever tried to work alongside someone who only seems to work when the supervisor can see them? Or if you're a student and you have a group project, but someone in the group doesn't put any effort into the project, expecting to get credit for what the other group members do. Even with their tiny brains, every ant in the colony carries out its job without supervision. That's a characteristic that's important for success, whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee. And it's vital if you want to be a success as a Christian too. Living a Christian life is challenging, and we must continually prod ourselves to live in a godly way, whether anyone is watching or not. Hopefully, you and I are not what Solomon referred to as sluggards. But if we want to acquire the wisdom we need for success, we need to take the time to consider what that little ant can teach us.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.